Hey guys, today I'm gonna make keto biscuits. These are so good and it's my favorite recipe that I've ever tried. Here are your basic ingredients, and then you're going to need a bowl, a spoon, and a cooking pan with parchment paper on top. And you also want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Let's get started. All right, let's begin with our ingredients. You are going to need 1.5 cups of almond flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. You need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. You need 1/2 cup of cheese. I like to use cheddar. You can also use mozzarella, but today I'm using Colby cheese. 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream, 3 tablespoons of butter, and you want to cut these up pretty small because you have to incorporate cold butter into the dough, and I'll show you that. And 1 egg. All right, so you want to combine your dry ingredients first. So we're going to go ahead and start with the almond flour. Then we're going to incorporate the baking powder. And your salt and pepper. And go ahead and mix all that. All right guys, so there it's all mixed up. And now you're gonna take your 3 tablespoons of butter and you're gonna put that in here and you're gonna mash this butter. Oops, I have one more in there. I'll get it out in a minute. You're gonna smash this butter into your almond flour mix. And you're gonna I do it with my hand. It's much easier. That way I can incorporate it really well. You can also use a pastry cutter, which I don't have, or you could also use a small spatula. But I'll show you what I mean by incorporating it, because that's what gives it its biscuit-like texture. So this is really important, okay? All right, guys. So I have my son here. He's recording me, so I can use both hands and show you. So now you have your butter in here, and you're just going to squish it and incorporate it. And you want to make sure that all the butter is incorporated into the mix, the almond flour mix here. This is what takes a little bit more time on your recipe, but it's well worth it because you're going to get a biscuit-like consistency, okay? And I'll show you. All you're going to do is keep squishing it. Squish it till all the butter is really nicely incorporated into all the mix. It should come out looking like sand once it's all mixed in really well. And I'll show you that as soon as I'm finished here. All right, guys, this is how it should look after you've incorporated the butter. It's kind of like sandy, or that's how they describe it in the recipe. Just very soft but sandy a little bit, and it shouldn't stick too much to your hands either once you get your hands out of there. It's actually not that bad, so it's a very nice dough mix here. All right, let me give you the next step. All right, so now right in the middle of your mix here, that's where you're going to place your egg. And your heavy whipping cream. And you're going to mix this. All right, guys, so you're going to mix that together, but just be careful not to over mix it. You just want to make sure that everything is the whole egg and the cream is incorporated into the mixture, and once it is and it's ready, then you're going to go ahead and do your last step, which is fold your cheese in. All right, guys, here's a mix with the cheese folded in. We are going to go ahead and transfer rolls now onto our pan. And just a little bit of info on this. You can make 4 large biscuits. When I make 4 large biscuits, I use the biscuits for breakfast sandwiches. You can use them for lunch sandwiches. I also make them into 6 smaller rolls, and I use those for breakfast when I want a biscuit with butter and jelly. Or I also make a sausage gravy, and I pour that over one of them. So it depends on what you're going to use them for the week. 6 smaller ones, or you can do 4 larger ones. This week I'm going to do 6 because I have a lot of sausage in my fridge. The 1 pound of breakfast sausage was 99 cents. So I got like 5 or 6 pounds of that. So I'm going to make them into 6 small rolls this week, okay? All right, guys. So here is my 6 biscuits. I just want to show you, I use a 1/3 cup to kind of put a little bit in there and then just scoop it out. I think it's a little bit more than 1/3, but that's okay. And then the bigger biscuits are usually a little more than a 1/2 cup. So, so yeah, I think these could, even have been a 4th cup. But I used this one, sorry. So there you go. And now you're going to put them in the oven for 20 minutes. And remember, your oven should have been preheated for 350 in case you didn't get that. Well, guys, here they are. They smell so good. Like I said, I'll just be using these through the week. I hope you make them and let me know how you like them. And thanks for watching. One more little tip, let them cool off before you try to remove them from here, and you can store them in the fridge, and then when you want one heated up, you could just pop it in your toaster. I also have frozen these, and I took the last one out maybe 2 weeks after I made them, and it was still good. And I let it defrost for just like, I took them out and they defrosted within maybe 10 minutes. And then I just popped them in the toaster. Just as good.